Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risk their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds or Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and this video is about the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip. Alright, so everything is going full speed ahead, man. Truly, everything is moving full speed towards the prophecy of the mark of the beast. And the prophecy I'm talking about, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So, and he causeth all, is talking about the people who are in rulership today, who are the Edomites, who are these so-called white people. This is the kingdom of the Edomites, and their forefather Esau was given this blessing by our forefather Isaac, that he would have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and by the sword he would rule. So he's in that blessing right now, and it is their ruling class, which is the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, the elite bankers that have a plan and an agenda at hand, which is their New World Order agenda. And at the forefront of it is their microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, they intend to microchip the entire world. It doesn't matter who you are or your social status or anything, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this mark here at G5480 is the Greek word charagma, a stamp and imprinted mark. So it is something that is physical, and that microchip is physical. It is physically inserted into the body by way of this device here at G5482, which in the Greek is the karax, right? A pail or stake. So the karax pierces the skin, and then they inject the microchip into the hand. All right, that's how they do it. And then the same thing with the brain microchip, which they use to, they pierce the skin the same type of way, right? So the technology for both of these, the hand and the brain microchip, are up and running and fully functional and ready to go. But the situation at hand is that they need to make it mandatory worldwide. That's the prophecy. So they have to implement systems to be able to facilitate the microchip on a global scale, where it is mandatory for every single part of life. And so that's why you see the world heading towards what they call the fourth industrial revolution. They call it the digital revolution, the digital age, the intelligence age. All of these are just different code names for Esau's NWO. All right. And they did state that when it starts to happen, it's going to be happening at a breakneck speed, which it is happening right now. All right. At a breakneck speed. Things are moving very quickly. All right. The news and information coming out regarding the development of this digital system around the world, it's like never before. I check a website called biometricupdate.com, and that website feels like it's continuously updating every single day about all of these countries around the world and their digital improvements. All right, so the digital systems that are coming in to allow, the microchip to work on that global scale. You have the new monetary system coming in. They're doing away with cash. So it's going cashless because they're heading towards digital payments. That's why you have all of these countries around the world developing central bank digital currencies. And then you have the digital identification system that is being brought in, right? The digital identification system is also about digitalizing, everything around us. So they're digitalizing the medical, just everything, really, can't put it more than that. But the digital ID that they're bringing out is about consolidating all of your information onto one place, your biometrics, your medical records, your financial records, your government records, your literally everything about your life. They plan on having your phone connected to it, your internet identity, your social media identity, everything. That is the digital identity, which has been proposed by the World Economic Forum, which is the global standard that the world is going by. All right, and that it's a stepping stone, because right now they're transforming the world digitally, and then they're developing these digital IDs, and then eventually when the prophecy comes to pass, where the microchip is made mandatory worldwide, you're going to have that digital ID simply just transferred, right? And it's just like that. The microchip technology, as I mentioned before, is already out there and working, and this is how it works. All right, you can Google biometric microchip, right? People are literally microchips already going around using the microchip to make payments from the UK to Europe to America, posted both on news sites, and you can see it on the YouTube, and then people on social media. All right, so this is the world that we're in. And Trump in this second term is truly going full speed. I remember the first time when he came in, he spoke about Operation Warp Speed, but now he's talking about not just talking about, but doing. He's literally accelerating America towards this digital system, this mark of the beast system. All right, when he first came out, right after he was inaugurated for the second time, the first thing he did, I remember it, he spoke about his $500 billion investment in artificial infrastructure, right? It's all about developing America's digital public infrastructure, right? And then just a few, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he signed a stable coin into law, which is like the central bank digital currency. It is a form of digital payment that is a 1-to-1 ratio to the US dollar. So it really is the digital dollar. The stablecoin is a type of cryptocurrency that aims to maintain a stable value relative to a specified asset, a pool or basket of assets. The specified asset might refer to fiat currency, the US dollar, commodity, or other cryptocurrencies. Despite the name, stablecoins are not necessarily stable. All right, so that's from Wikipedia. All right, let's look at Investopedia, where it says stablecoins are designed to bridge the gap between the unpredictability of popular cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and the stability required for everyday financial transactions. By pegging their value to fiat currencies, commodities, or other financial instruments, stablecoins offer a crypto alternative with reduced volatility. As a result, they provide a more consistent medium of exchange capable of fulfilling daily transactional needs, unlike their more volatile cryptocurrency counterparts. Yeah, that's because the stablecoin actually works in the same vein as the central bank digital currency, which is different from Ethereum and Bitcoin and stuff like that. Those aren't the end game. The end game are these, central bank digital currencies, these government ran digital payment systems. All right. So that's what the stable coin is, man. It is, in fact, coin-based stablecoins are a type of cryptocurrency whose value is pegged to another asset, such as fiat currency or gold. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So Trump essentially brought and signed in the American central bank digital currency into law. They just called it stablecoin, and but it's all working as the same thing. So that's full speed. And then after that, he did the whole announcement about transforming the entire medical industry to going digital, right? So you can see the agenda is going full speed, man. And then they're developing the 15-minute cities and the smart cities. All of these things is just so that that microchip, man, works where people are forced to, are going to be microchipped. Some people are going to feel forced, because of the situation and time, because it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you won't be able to be a merchant, you won't be able to be a buyer, you won't be able to do anything unless you have the microchip, because it shows you with their digital ID system that they're connecting everything to it. So, you're going to be blocked out of every kind of service that is offered from society, right? Unless you have that microchip. And this is where it's all heading towards. Okay, so That digital ID shows it, man. Actually, let me just get it. Visual representation. Digital ID WEF. So here it is, the image. And you can see, man, they're connecting everything to it. Healthcare, financial services, your passports, travel and mobility, e-commerce, social platforms, e-government, telecommunications. And it's about connecting people with things to entities and devices, right? All right. Their vision for their NWO is that people are going to be microchipped, and literally every single thing that they do, from the second they wake up to the second they go to sleep, they're using their microchip, because it's also used for things in the house to open up doors and stuff like that. All right. The technology, we know what it's going to do, right? We know the purpose based off of the prophecy and all of that. All right. So everything's moving full speed, because I seen this article today. US pushes digital identity as cornerstone of crypto ambitions. So the United States of America is now accelerating towards this digital transformation, which is very telling regarding the times that we're in, because America's Mystery Babylon the Great, right? And America's that place, man. So while it is that the world is going digital to, facilitate that microchip when it becomes mandatory worldwide, there are special eyes on America, all right, to take notice with what is going on in America regarding Bible prophecy, okay? So America is moving full speed with the agenda. So now remember, Trump's $500 billion artificial intelligence infrastructure, he signed stablecoin into law, which is essentially the US dollar central bank digital currency. It works with the US dollar at a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? And then he did the whole medical industry transformation of it going fully digital. So now a part of the system is the digital identity push, which all of these other countries are doing. And now you have America, all right, moving full speed ahead. Because, and I say it like that because before, while observing, diligently over these years, America seemed to be lagging behind. Truly, America seemed to be lagging behind regarding implementing a digital identification system and the central bank digital currency. There would be certain kinds of, talks about it not them being against such things, but that was always with a forked tongue, right? And we know the prophecies of Yahweh Shemishai, so we know they're going to reach to that point eventually, but they seem to be lagging behind. Now, with Trump in set up, by the wicked elite of Esau, the second go around, he has obviously received his mandate and he's moving full speed ahead. In Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you," talking about the so-called white man, "unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So he knows his time is short, all right, and he's coming with great wrath. So he's coming with great wrath to establish his NWO with that microchip at the forefront of it. So everything is moving quickly. Yahweh Shemishai is accelerating things, and I truly do believe that, all right? So the Trump administration is escalating its campaign to make the United States the crypto capital of the world, placing digital identity at the center of its digital asset strategy. Okay, so there have been talks, right? Because they were talking about, like in America, they're anti-CBDC, but then they go and introduce the stablecoin, which is and works like the CBDC. You see what I'm saying? They do. This is the devil we're dealing with, man. The so-called white man. He deceives. It's like the same thing with the digital ID. They were talking about, no digital ID, but they have been ushering in the digital ID slowly but surely by way of these mobile driving licenses, which is a digital identification system, right? They're very sneaky with what they're doing, man. Okay? It's like, I don't know if they know, because, like Esau does statistics and stuff, right? So they gauge the temperature of the population regarding how the population feels about certain things. But and maybe they saw that population would be, a pushback. What they're doing, right? They gradually implement things, all right, because they are few, and it's the world that they're manipulating. So with that, they, take their time with certain types of ways, and they gradually implement systems and get people used to the idea of living in a certain type of way where, like, they have a majority of the people who are for the kind of system before they really start to push it out, if you get what I'm saying. So a request for the Department of Treasury that was mandated by the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation of U.S. Stablecoins Act, Genius Act, underscores how central identity verification has become to Washington's vision of a blockchain-driven financial future, right? A blockchain-driven financial future, which is a digital payment system, right? And it's all for the microchip, man, which is the mark of the beast. All right, because people are going to be microchipped and they're going to be using their microchip to make payments. And so there's no more need for paper cash because it's all going to be done digitally. It's digital dollars. And so they're saying with this stable coin, right, they're saying that the underscores how central identity verification, which they're talking about digital identity. So they're bringing in this digital identity on the back foot of this whole stable coin thing, which is once again working as a form of digital payment one-to-one to the US dollar. And I can't emphasize it enough. Okay? So the notice published Monday in the Federal Register calls on financial institutions, technology companies, and the public to weigh in on innovative or novel methods, techniques, or strategies to detect and mitigate illicit finance risks involving digital assets. Especially, Treasury is seeking ideas on 4 technological pillars: application programming interfaces, APIs, AI, blockchain monitoring, and digital identity verification. Innovative tools are critical to advancing efforts to address illicit, etc. Okay? So basically what I'm getting from this is that, and I'm reading this fresh, all right, is that they're saying with what the system that's coming in, basically they're justifying to have a digital identification system come in behind it for security purposes. Okay. So the request for comment fulfills a requirement of the Genius Act, which was signed into law by President Trump in July and aligns with his broader executive order on strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology. All of this is just for the microchip, man. Together, these moves reflect a sharp pivot from regulatory hesitancy to an assertive embrace of cryptocurrency infrastructure. In the administration's framing, digital identities are not merely compliance tools, but rather they are foundational enabler for both security and innovation. The Working Group of Digital Asset Markets established by Trump's January executive order went further in a July report that explicitly named digital identity providers as among the key infrastructure providers tools necessary for the cryptocurrency ecosystem to flourish. So there's still, this is it, man. This is very blatant. They're saying with the system that's coming in, which is the new digital payment system, that digital identity goes hand in hand with it, necessary for cryptocurrency ecosystem to flourish. The report suggested that widespread adoption of digital ID could accelerate mainstream use of digital assets and bolster trust in blockchain-based financial systems. The report also highlighted privacy-preserving technologies such as zero-knowledge proofs and selective disclosure as mechanisms that can balance identity verification with civil liberties. Very interesting. Industry voices are echoing that call. Source Secures Jordan Burris, a former federal digital identity official, has argued that the U.S. urgently needs a national digital identity strategy. While mobile driver licenses are emerging as one solution, the MDL, the mobile driver's licenses, right? They are a digital ID, and they've been slowly bringing that into America. With more than 5 million already issued nationwide, they are only part of the equation. A June executive order rolled back federal support for state-based MDLs. Okay, so anyway, it's a long article. I'm not going to finish it, but I will link it in the description. All right, and it just goes to show you the times that we're in, man. America's really rapidly accelerating towards their digital payment system and now their digital identity system, which they're saying goes hand in hand with the whole Genius Act thing of the cryptocurrency, which they're referring to the stable coin. Okay, so America's very close. It really is. Okay, so the hour of temptation is close because thou hast kept the word of my patience in Revelation 3 verse 10. I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, so the hour of temptation is when you are faced with that microchip because it's going to become mandatory worldwide. This thing really is happening at a breakneck speed, man. It's just as they said it would go, you know? And with the way things are right now, and the systems and the stages that they're at, one big event can really set things off in a very major way. The prophecies are speaking very loudly. The things that are happening in the world, the signs that we're supposed to be seeing before the return of our Lord Yahushua, it's all happening, man. We're literally living through it. And this is some actually really big news that's going on in America. For those of us that do believe, this is huge regarding the developments heading towards the manifestation of the prophecy of the mark of the beast. America, keep eyes on it. Okay, and then once this microchip is made mandatory worldwide, it is only a matter of time before Yahushua's return, because then can the destruction and the salvation come of the elect of the nation of Israel. We have to go through the mark of the beast prophecy. It has to be made fully manifest. Okay, and there's a judgment for taking it. Revelation chapter 14 verse 9 to 10. There's a warning unto you Israelites, man. But also, you know, doing these videos on the topic, you know, for those that believe, it shows how close we are regarding the prophecy, because the systems are being implemented and the technology, the microchip technology, is already out there, up and running. So once they, you know, however it is that the Lord sets it up, man, you know, I was going to say, once Esau sees it, the digital public infrastructure of the world at a certain point where they feel comfortable with implementing it mandatory worldwide, you know. But however Yahweh Shemishai has set it, man, you know, for things to happen. But it is close. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemakah Kodesh. Shalom.